Yo, YouTube, it's a Poppy Dub. This is Charlie Brown. You know, we've been talked about the bikes. What, Smooth Criminal, Smooth Sailing,
Smooth Sailing, Smooth Criminal,
Charlie Brown,
Old School,
Old School,
and the Real OG,
and the Real OG,
Ghost,
Ghost. Wow.
and there's one more that was built back in the very beginning. It was called, oh Lord, I'm short for words right now, but it was called the original. Yeah, that's what it was called, the original.
But you know what, Charlie?
Yeah.
We done seen all your bikes.
Yeah.
Everybody know about your bikes.
Okay.
But you know what they don't know?
What's that?
Who is the man, Charlie Brown? Who is Charlie Brown?
Just happened to be a cat that growed into being Charlie Brown. Young man. Started out riding Greyhound bus back and forth from Chattanooga, Tennessee to Cleveland, Ohio, looking out the one that guys on motorcycles. He was about 10, 11 years old, and he kept looking at them bikes every summer when he ride up through there on that Greyhound bus, and he decided he was going to be one of those kind of guys that build motorcycles and ride them up and down the highway across this country. That's how I got started, with a dream.
And what year was that?
That was, I said, 10 years old, so that was in 1957.
You done told your age.
And in 58, I was 11. And by the time I turned 12, I met a buddy of mine, and we put our pennies together and bought us a Cushman.
Okay, okay.
And without our parents knowing it, we had that thing hid at his house in his granddaddy's barn. So we rode that Cushman. After we got through with that Cushman, playing with it, we figured out how to put some bicycle handlebars on it. So we put some, what they call ape hangers now. And we put them on there and rode that Cushman all over the area we lived in down there off 3rd Street in Chattanooga called Bushtown.
Okay.
And then his family moved to North Carolina, took the Cushman with them. And then after that, I got me a Sears All-State moped. You pedal it like a bicycle to get it cranked. You give it the gas and keep going.
I remember those.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had one of those. And then after I got rid of it, I didn't have another bike for years. All I did was just, by then I'm in the 10th grade at Riverside, so I started building cars. I took out mechanics. And I still got my first car, 49 Ford, called Fat Albert. That wasn't the original name of Fat Albert.
Right.
That's what I had to change it to. And then after Fat Albert, I built a couple more cars. And then in 1968, I graduated from Riverside in 66. And 68, I bought me a Honda 350 Dream. No, it wasn't Dream, it was Honda 350 Deluxe. And it 1 year, and then Honda built a 750 Honda, which was the biggest bike they ever built. So doggone it, I went and traded that little 350 for a 750.
Was that the 754?
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's when I started building bikes. That summer when I came back from Ohio, mind you, in the summertime, my dad lived in Ohio, had a biological daddy. And every summer when I got out of school here in Chattanooga, I had to go up there at least for 2 weeks, spend the summer with him. So that's where I got all my inspiration from, watching and seeing those bikes. And I actually got a chance to go to a bike show up there. And after that, I had the bug. I was going to build me one.
So you were bitten.
I bet. I hadn't seen a brother with a bike in a bike show up there, and I said, shoot, I can build one of them things. So next thing you know, I just started with that desire to just do it. And without me knowing it, good Lord, that gave me that vision. And I didn't know it was a vision. I thought it was just luck.
Uh-huh.
But I started having ideas on how to do it. That 754 was the first one I built. There's a picture on the wall right there of the first show I ever done. And when I showed up with the bike, built the way I thought it should look as a custom chopper back then. And I'll never forget, I showed up at the place, had my letter from where I had been accepted. They sent me a letter back saying I was accepted, so I had my letter with me. They told me to bring it with me. They would get me in the door so I could get into the building. When I got to the door of the place, the gentleman looked at me and said, "What are you here for?" I said, "I'm here to put my bike in the show." And he he made a statement I'll never forget. That's when this picture of Miss Rosa Parks is so important to me too. I'll tell you about that. He told me, he said, we don't have none of y'all in this show.
None of y'all.
Y'all.
Okay.
I said, well, I got a letter saying I'm supposed to be in. He said, we don't have any space for y'all. And a gentleman that was there, that was of his race, saw me, and he knew me from knowing where I worked at as a mechanic. And he said, Charlie, what are you doing? I said, I got a bike on the back of my truck out here. And mind you, the truck belonged to the company I work for, because they let me use the truck to take the bike down there.
Right.
And he said, what? I said, I got a bike out here I've been building. And I said, you remember the one that's in the back when you come by the shop? And he said, oh yeah, was that your bike? I go, yeah. He went out and looked at it, and he come back and he showed the guy the letter, and the guy said, well, we don't have a space for him. So he said, well, let me go talk to the promoter, which the guy that told me he didn't have no space for him was just a door dude.
Right.
You know, so he went and talked to the promoter, and the promoter told him where to put me. So when he come back, he said, okay, Charlie, I got you in. Just come in, let me show you what they told you you're going to be. Well, I'm happy because I don't know what.
To get in.
Yeah.
Right.
Not knowing that I would be the first black to enter that show, I'm just happy to be in it.
Right.
Man, that dude took me through there on all them pretty bikes and cars and took me down the hallway. And he said, this is where you're going to set up at. I went, I'm not going to be in there with everybody else. He said, Charlie, I got you in the building. This is where they want you to be.
You had to get your foot in the door.
You know where I was? Where everybody could see me, but it wasn't the place I wanted to be. I was right across from the bathrooms, in the hallway. I said, Lord Jesus, you got to be kidding. Well, I made the best of it. Make a long story short, that show was 3 days. The whole 3 days the show was going on. I got my little display set up. Like I say, you see in that picture right there. And 3 days went by, and they had the awards night. I went upstairs where they were going to have the awards, because it was upstairs, downstairs.
Right.
The awards was upstairs. And I went in, there was no seats as usual. Was none of us there but me. And then they called out the first, seventh place. They called out third place, seventh place. And when they called out seventh place, I got a little attitude. I said, they ain't even look at my bike. I thought they didn't look at it. And then they said, first place goes to the little red 750 Honda downstairs called Sweet Red. That was the name I was trying to think of.
Okay, okay.
The first name I gave a bike was Sweet Red. And that's in that picture too on the wall. And when they said that, I said, get out of here. So I got up, ladies and gentlemen, I said, yeah, I am. And I raised my hand. And you could hear what they say in the Bible, mustard seed. You could have heard it hit the floor.
Okay.
It was quiet as I don't know what it meant. So that, well said, I won first place. And then after that, I swore to myself, as long as the good Lord gave me breath, I was going to continue to build bikes and cars, and I wasn't going to miss a show.
Right.
This coming January will be 56 consecutive years.
That's a lot of years, Charlie.
56. Not miss one show. I done gave away at least 200 or 300 trophies over the 50-some years. Because as I get so many, I run out of room.
That's
that
an
wall
impressive
over
wall.
there is from early 2000.
Okay, I see those over there.
Those 6 over, I think it's 6 over there. 6 of them left from early 2000.
Okay.
In the early 2000s. I got maybe 1 or 2 left from during the 1900 to 1999.
So Charlie, what kept you motivated? What was your motivation? Was there a person that motivated you?
Believe it or not, I during the civil rights era, which I grew up in, I went to a predominantly black school in Chattanooga. They didn't integrate the schools till after I graduated, 68. So the two people I had the utmost respect for, it was 3 altogether, but the 2 that inspired me most was Malcolm X and Rosa Parks.
Okay.
Then Martin Luther King. And the reason I said it in that order, because as a young man, I can't deny, I was real quick to settle disagreements with my fists.
Okay.
And I didn't allow nobody to tell me what I couldn't do.
Right.
So what motivated me is the idea that after I won that first year, to get that first place prize, I knew I had the talent. I felt like I did. And then I just kept building. But every year I'd build something different. It'd be a bike.
Yeah.
And it was the same bike for 4 years in a row, but every year I brought it back,
It was different.
it didn't look nothing like it did the year before. And then getting back with the inspiration, this lady right here, this picture, I bought it. I didn't care what it cost me. I found it at a yard sale.
Okay.
And I told them, I said, whatever you want for it, I'll pay it. I didn't even ask them what they want for it. And luckily I got it. I get like $75 for this.
Okay.
And I hadn't been able to hang it nowhere because,
You have nowhere to hang your picture.
yeah, I hadn't nowhere to hang it. But so when I have it in the studio, I always keep it close where somebody can see it. And a lot of people are surprised. They heard the name, but they never seen the face.
Okay.
And I just felt like that lady right there represents everybody's big mama, grandmama, mama, granny, whatever. You know, she looks just like.
That's who she is.
You know,
Right.
That's what she looked like. And I think a lot of people, when they look at it, everybody's had that kind of a inspiration in their life. And of course, Malcolm X was somebody he had a good philosophy, even though a lot of people didn't like him. But if you listen to what he had to say, it was plenty of education in it.
Right.
And of course, you know, the father of all of them is Martin Luther, so he gave it his best shot.
Mm-hmm.
And we know when you go against the grid, you're putting your hand in putting your life in somebody else's
hands. Yeah.
But the bikes, Gold Wing product, I love it. 1975 Gold Wing. When they came out, when I had my 69 750, I didn't have the money to buy a 75, but I swore if I ever got the money, I'd buy one. Luckily, later on in life, I was able to get one restored, took it to an antique show at Bad Boy. Beyond my imagination, I got that on video, the first show it was in. They called my name, and it was a People's Choice show only, and it won People's Choice.
Okay.
Over some bikes that had been in the movie Cannonball Run, over some bikes that had been in some Walt Disney movies. They had the chopper there that was from the Easy Rider, a movie, you know, and it had some Indians there that were really nice. But that 75 Gold Wing took People's Choice, and I happen to have. I always try to remember to carry a witness with me, a brother with me that could testify that he done it.
Right.
He's not lying. He's done it. And then we always try to get footage or something, or a camera shot or something. And then after that, 75, when we had the grand opening here in town, the new Honda shop, $10 million business, was opened up. And they asked me to bring it over there and put it in the window for the grand opening.
Okay, that's Southern Honda, right?
Yeah, Southern Honda Power Sport.
What's their address? Any idea?
It's in East Ridge, Tennessee. The number I couldn't tell you, but I know if you're coming up 75 from Georgia and get off at the first exit in Tennessee, turn left, go 1 mile and 6/10, you'll be in front of it.
Southern Honda,
Southern Honda
Chattanooga,
Power.
Tennessee.
Yeah, Southern Honda Power Sport. It's East Ridge, Tennessee.
Okay.
It's actually in East Ridge, a city, East Ridge.
So is that where the Godfather's Lounge is located?
Yeah, they surprised me here. They opened up the new store, called me over one day, and they said, we got something we want you to see. And it was after Wing World had done a publication, and on me and one of the Gold Wings, I can't remember. I think it was on the white one, the one in front of you there. And I had been to the Great American Show in Atlanta and did damage down there. And they called me one day at the store and asked me to come over. And the owner and the store manager and the operating manager, they said, come to the office. I parked my truck, went over. They walked me over in the showroom, and they said, here's something we want you to have. And they had designated an area in the showroom called the Godfather's Lounge.
Okay.
Godfather's Lounge in there. And they said, everybody call you the Godfather, so we want the Godfather to have somewhere where he can invite his friends, no matter where they from, what color, what denomination, what they ride. We want you to have a place here so you can entertain them and sit around and just fellowship.
Talk motorcycles.
Talk motorcycle
Okay.
fellowship.
But Charlie, I'm going to go down your wall, even though we've seen your wall many times. I want to add your wall to this video.
Okay. All right.
That's an impressive wall, Charlie. Charlie. I appreciate you.
No problem, partner.
Charlie Brown and Poppy Dub, you know what I'm saying? In the house.
And this young man here is a real jewel.
We're trying to keep Charlie on the map.
And I appreciate it, bro. Because more brothers out there, I encourage y'all, if you got a dream, stay with it. Don't be ashamed of it. Just build it.
But you know what, Charlie? You got a Rosa Parks picture? I might get me a Charlie Brown picture.
That's a lot to say.
That's a lot to say. But there's a lot to that, Charlie. You
I ain't
understand?
joking. That's
But
a
you know,
lot to say.
everybody know your bikes,
Yeah.
but it's the man behind the bikes.
Well, I'm glad.
It's the man, and this is the man behind
I
the
just
bikes.
want to be an inspiration to somebody.
Okay.
I want some young man to say, you know, this cat's real. I'm not about to show off. I'm just about trying to inspire somebody else to do what I do. I didn't give up on my dream. That's all I had. And I wasn't going to let nobody take it from me.
Okay.
You know, that's the way I feel about it.
All right. Well, this is Poppy Dub and Charlie Brown. Peace.